and welcome to Literary Hype. I am Stephanie, your literary hype woman, and it is now November, which means October is over. The month went by way too fast, and I did not do great on my TBR game. If you saw the October TBR, you know that there was like some really chunky books in there and a lot, and I had a lot going on, so it didn't really work out so well for me. So let's get into wrapping up the month of October and what all I read and what I thought about those books. The first book that I finished in October was The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. I got one of the signed exclusive Barnes & Noble editions on this one, so it's very shiny, and it's signed, so it makes me happy. As to the book itself, this is the second book in what we now know as a trilogy. That is very important information that we did not have before the book came out. We thought it was going to be a duology and wrap up the story, and then no, that is not what we got. We got an ending that made a lot of people like, what the heck was that? What the heck was that? But we now know that there's going to be a third book, at least, to maybe wrap the story up. I don't know. I can't trust Stephanie Garber anymore. But I give this one 4 stars. The beginning of October was pretty rough for me reading-wise. I really struggled with my attention span and being able to focus. Plus I was quite literally all over the place for the first 3/4 of the month. So I did try to get myself back on track by picking up the graphic novel that was part of my October TBR game, and that is Bombshells United, Volume 1. I really loved the first set of it. The first set of Bombshells. This one wasn't as good, but it made me very sad. I still loved the art concept of 40 versions of the DC women. But yeah, the story was just kind of all over the place and didn't really help my attention span issues at all. So I gave it 3 stars. If you've been around my channel at all, you know I love Christina Lauren, so I did finally get around to finishing my September buddy read book, and that was Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. If you haven't already checked out my interview with them, definitely check that out. They are an absolute blast and churn out quality book after quality book. This one's about Macy and Elliot. It's a not only dual perspective, but also dual timeline. So you've got them as teenagers working forward, but also modern day moving forward. And as kind of unfolding what happened that tore them apart when they were teenagers, and that's their first love. But they do come back to meet each other again in modern day as adults, and so this kind of explores both sides of that relationship. And it's just so pretty. It's just beautiful. I love Christina Lauren. They are fantastic people, and I love them. So, to the surprise of absolutely no one, Love in Other Words gets 5 stars from me. I also read another book for an author that has an interview here on the Literary Hype channel, and that is Someone Other Than a Mother by Erin Lane. This tackles kind of a look at how people treat women differently if they don't have kids, and it kind of explores her journey and includes research and data. But if you want to learn more about that book, you can definitely go check out that interview. It's fascinating. We had a very interesting discussion on motherhood and kind of what society thinks of it and stuff like that. This is also a very interesting book. I tabbed it up quite a bit. So I gave 4 stars to Someone Other Than a Mother. Sticking with the theme of second chance relationships that I apparently made and did not realize I made for the month, but here we are. I read Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy. It is the sequel to Good Girl Complex, which I read earlier in the year and really enjoyed and was very excited, like almost moved this book up to the top of my TBR like several months ago, which I normally don't do. While I was very excited for this one, I think I like the first one better, just a smidge, and that's not to say I don't like this one. Genevieve and the Other Twin story is still very fun. and a little spicy in there. But I think I like the first one better. But Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy still gets 4 stars from me. Here we go with my controversial opinion of the month. So one of my buddy reads for October was Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And I did the audiobook of it, so that might be part of my issue, because I was having a hard time focusing anyway, and then I tried to use an audiobook, and it was hard to keep track of the storyline, and like didn't really realize that there was a dual thing going on for a minute, and it was just kind of confusing. It was okay. It was just okay for me, because I was so confused. And I kind of had a feeling of where it was going. I said what I said. So I gave that one 3 stars. Please don't come for me. Well, technically 3.5 stars, so is that better? Don't come for me. I'm still going to try to read Hellbent. Just don't come for me. I also read an advanced copy of a humor book of sorts this month. It's called Jokes to Offend Men. It's got 4 different authors on it. And so this is where I struggle with, like, some of them are funny. Some of these, they are like legit jokes in there. Some of them are funny, some of them are just infuriating because they're a little too accurate for our society and how women get treated. So it just kind of made me mad, and which I guess is kind of the point, but I was really hoping for a little more fun. But I still enjoyed it and was sharing these jokes with people at my sister's bachelorette party while we were waiting for the subway. So I gave Jokes to Offend Men 4 stars. Fulfilling yet another prompt on my Hype TBR game was Quit Like a Woman by Holly Whitaker. It also fulfills the Q on my Read the Alphabet in a Year challenge, so I'm very excited that this had a little bit of a double duty thing going on for me. I was listening to this audiobook on my way to my sister's bachelorette party, which was kind of ironic to me as the one sober person there to be listening to why alcohol was bad. But it is what it is. It wasn't planned. It just kind of hit me once I got there that it was kind of a funny moment. Anyway, the book itself is very well written. It is kind of part memoir of Holly's story to sobriety, but also a lot of research on the effects of alcohol on women, the marketing, and just kind of at large the relationship with alcohol and women in our society. It was really interesting to listen to and read, so I gave that one 4 stars. And here we are with yet another second chance romance in the month of October. I really did not plan this and did not even realize this was going on. But Built to Last by Erin Hahn was for 2 of my prompts for the October Hype TBR game. So I made sure to get that one to kind of, I needed to fulfill the extra, the prompts. But Built to Last is about some child actors that kind of had a little bit of a fling. They were each other's first loves back when they were on TV. And then they kind of parted ways when the show ended, aka the dude left. He kind of left the show. And she ended up with her co-star for a while and things got really messy. But now their former co-star, who's very jealous, has brought them back together to do a home renovation show because Shelby has found a passion in restoring furniture and helping flip houses with her dad. So Cam has to come in and be her co-star for this that he didn't know about. So it's a very messy second chance romance, but it's cute and I enjoyed it. So 4 stars for Built to Last by Erin Hahn. And my final book of October that I did manage to finish just in the nick of time is Waypoints by Sam Heughan. So if you remember back to my September TBR game, that one I had a prompt where I had to pre-order a book and then read it in the month that it came out. So Waypoints, by this pretty man, came out October 25th. So I really did not plan for that one very well to finish it, but I did manage to squeak it out. So this is a bit of a memoir, but also mixed with like a hiking journey that he went on. So it kind of goes back and forth between like childhood stories or early acting days of Sam's and also his journey on this trail in Scotland. So it's a really interesting mix of the two. There's also in the print version, there are photos. And I also did listen to a bit of it on audiobook while I was driving. So that had some, at the end of each chapter for the hiking day, he shared the audio clips of him, like from what he was, like his notes basically, of recapping his day on the trail. So you get to hear the pounding rain hitting his tent and everything. They both have really great aspects of them, so I encourage you to get both. His writing is fantastic. He really captures all the senses when he writes and makes sure he really paints a picture for you of what it was like in the Highlands in October and like doing this hike when it's kind of cold and rainy and gross. But it is a fabulously written book. I really enjoyed it. So 5 stars for Sam Heughan's Waypoints. So that means I have disappointed some people this month. I did not get to Artemis, but I don't think anyone was particularly waiting on me to read this one. Sorry, didn't happen. The 2 that I'm probably going to get some crap about not reading and getting to, Zodiac Academy. I'm sorry, Kim. I am sorry. And A Court of Mist and Fury. I did read 12 pages of it, but then I got distracted. But I am sorry to all of the people who've been waiting on me to read this one. Kim and Aaron and Danielle and Morgan and Clint and Hope, I am sorry. And Sam and Alicia. I do want to get to these. I really, really do. Just maybe in December, because November's gonna be crazy. So that's where we are from October. I believe that was 10 books finished, which isn't bad. It's just I didn't stick to my TBR very well. That's what happened when you're a mood reader. I'm sorry. But if you enjoyed this video, this recap of the books that I read and want to see how I do with November, you can also check out November's game and then see how I keep up with that later on. But don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you can see when I post these videos, and then you can make fun of me for really struggling through this because it was a rough month and November's already starting out to be a rough month too. So, but I do appreciate you tuning in for this kind of rambly wrap-up festival of craziness. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.